So let's test out my new camera setup in the Jeep Wrangler. If you're not aware, I posted a video up about this little contraption a few days ago. And you can check that out. I'll link it down below. But I've got you guys mounted on my new contraption, that's what it really is, with a GoPro attached. I wanted to see, number one, what kind of quality I'm getting out of the video. And we're going over a bumpy road, so I want to see here if you guys can pick up all of the bumps and stuff that we're going over, and they're fairly severe. So do you notice the picture bouncing around a lot as we're driving over these bumps? I'm very curious to see what the video stabilization is like with this new GoPro. We're off of that road now, so now we're driving on just a regular road without a lot of bumps and stuff, although there is still some vibration and whatnot on this camera. So I'm curious to see what you guys notice. What about the sound quality? You know, you're mounted relatively close to the heating and air conditioning outlets. There is air blowing out of them now, although not blowing on the camera itself. So I'm curious if you guys can pick that up, if you can hear it or not, and then how the audio is overall. Does it come through clearly, or is it very difficult to hear on the camera? Now, the other thing I want to check out is the lighting in here. What's that like? I mean, is it a good picture? Is it a worse picture than what I've done in the past? And primarily, what I've used in the past is an iPhone. It has a magnet on the back, you guys can see right here, and it just sticks on the mount that you guys are on right now and then films me or out front as I'm driving along. Another little test I want to try out, I'm going to flip the camera around, and because of the way I have this set up, I should be able to just pull it off the mount and mount you guys facing forward so that you can see where we're going. So we're going to try that now. I'm going to try to do it almost one-handed, and man, this thing really sticks on there. But there is the view, and you can see from that angle, you're basically looking down at the hood. You can see ahead of you a little bit, but obviously most of what you're seeing is the hood. I can adjust the camera itself. Unfortunately, I'm stopped right now, so I can adjust it that way, and that gives you a much better view out of the front, I think. So I'd be curious to know, again, the same kind of things. We're going to take off and drive here in a second, but is it bouncing around too much? Is it a good clear picture out of the front? Can you actually see everything? And what about the lighting? I'm afraid that if it was a bright sunny day, you might actually have a lot of glare, or the sun itself just shining right in on you, particularly because of the angles on the camera. We're on a pretty smooth road for South Texas. By the way, the roads here are not the smoothest things in the world. I'm going to leave you on this angle for just a minute. We're going to go over a railroad track, and that will really tell me, I guess, if you guys really bounce around a lot. You guys can probably see it. It's coming up there. Well, I hope you can see it. It's coming up there. You can see the cross arms or whatever of the track. And we're going to hit it right now at 55 miles an hour. It is a smoother kind of track. There you go. There was going over that track. Again, I'm curious, is the video adversely affected by that or not? Now, let's switch you back around. I'm going to try to do this one-handed again, because obviously we want to keep both hands on the wheel. And now, of course, you're too high, so I got to adjust the angle, and it's not that hard to do, really, if you don't tighten down the arm of the camera very, very much. So that was a little test of switching it around on the camera. Why am I going with the GoPro as opposed to just keeping the iPhone? Well, there's a couple of reasons. And if you're a budding YouTuber out there, if you use your iPhone and you get a phone call, let's say right now as I'm filming, I get a phone call on my iPhone, it's going to interrupt the filming. It's going to be gone. And nothing's worse than when you're in the flow of doing a video and all of a sudden you get a call and it shuts off the camera. That sucks. That's a bummer, let me tell you. Plus, it runs down the battery on the iPhone unless you have it plugged in. I suppose you'd be okay. Eliminating the whole purpose, I guess, of having a phone so that you can contact someone or be contacted if you want. Also, the wear and tear it puts on the iPhone. You know, they're not cheap, man. It's, what, $1,500 and up to buy a new iPhone? You don't want to put any undue use on it, I guess, when you can get a camera for half of that money or a third of that money and be able to accomplish the same thing. Now, if you're not a YouTuber, well, you're probably wondering, why the hell do I need a camera anyway? Well, if you're an off-roader, you know, it's a lot of fun to shoot what you're doing. You know, maybe you're out with a family or something and you're running a course, or maybe you're just out cruising through the woods or in a field, whatever it is. It's a lot of fun to capture the moment, capture the adventures, right? Plus, believe it or not, having a front-facing camera allows you to see further ahead and down over the hood than you can see without it. So if you don't have a vehicle that has a front-facing camera in it, like in the infotainment screen, and a lot don't. I know there are some out there, and more vehicles are starting to incorporate them. But if you don't have that, it comes in handy for things like that as well. Just to see the ruts and stones and anything that might be something that you don't want to run over, give you a better idea. Or if you do and you have a problem, you can go back and check out that footage and see just where you screwed up. So I love having it. I think if I didn't have the YouTube channel, I probably would have some sort of a front-facing setup anyway. Oh, and there is one other thing. It can be used as a dash cam. In other words, when you're going out somewhere, if you want to make sure that you're covered, in other words, that if somebody does something stupid, like turn in front of you or run a red light or something like that, you've got footage. If nothing happens, you just reset the, in this case, GoPro, erase the footage, and keep it. Plus, the other thing I like about it for that purpose is it's portable. You know, I can pull it off of its mount, hide it in the vehicle, carry it with me. I don't have to worry about some miscreant out there breaking into my Jeep trying to steal, you know, my dash cam. So there's a little bit of an added security benefit, I think, if you're using it as a dash cam to capture anything that might be going on. Anyway, I just wanted to get on with you guys. This is the first test I've done. By the way, we are going over a lot of bumps right now, so don't forget to leave a comment down below and tell me what kind of quality I'm getting. There were a lot of bumps there. What kind of quality I'm getting out of this, or is it driving you nuts and you're bouncing all over the place? I'd just be curious to know. Thanks for watching, and leave a comment. Let me know also, do you run a camera in your Jeep or any other vehicle? Why not? Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.